The Atlanta Braves, those damn Atlanta Braves. We had the opportunity to come on this show and it just be a great, what a great weekend it would have been. 3 wins against the Dodgers. Instead, we're talking about what could have been. They're up 2-0. Shohei Ohtani has a couple of big hits. There's a couple of Dylan Lee pitch clock violations that definitely cost the Atlanta Braves. Then they have an opportunity in the 8th inning to take a lead. Runners on 2nd and 3rd, nobody outs. They do what the Braves have done all season, which is not take advantage of those opportunities as often as they should. And then the Dodgers explode in the 9th. Who knows if that's a different scenario, a different outcome if the Braves do take advantage and take a lead. Maybe Raisel Iglesias is a little sharper pitching when it's not 3-2 and it's instead 4-3 and the Atlanta Braves favor. You never know how those things could shake out. And the Dodgers open the floodgates, go back to back in the 9th, and they win this game 9-2, even though the Braves had it in the bag for most of the evening. They still take 2 out of 3, though, against a good team in the Dodgers, which you have to take some solaces. Anytime you do that, that is a good result. You'd love to have 3 out of 3, but hey, you're tied with the Mets in the wild card. You got an opportunity. And as I've said several times, it looks more and more likely by the day that 3-game set from September 24th to September 26th at Truist Park is going to decide which one of these teams goes to the postseason. If you're a Braves fan, considering everything that's happened this year, all the injuries,
what more could you want?
Yeah, it's like you get an opportunity against the team that's chasing you or right there with you to beat them on your home field 2 out of 3 games, and you're probably going to the playoffs. I think given everything that's happened, you're probably pretty happy with that opportunity as long as you take care of business this week.
I think you're an idiot if you think otherwise. I think you're an idiot because you want things in your hands. You never want someone else to control your own destiny in any phase of your life, especially when we're talking about sports. You want to be the master of your own fate. And that's, again, we still got 2 more series. We got to finish the Dodgers, and then we got 2 more series, and then we have the Mets coming to Atlanta. That's all you could hope for. With this kind of season where every single turn has resulted in the Braves getting one of their teeth knocked out, one of their MVPs, one of their Cy Young, we look like a bunch of rednecks with no teeth going right now. And you're looking at a Mets team that overperformed expectations, I think, and they're thinking, we can't, in their minds, there are some positive Mets fans, but most of them are negative because they haven't had a lot to cheer about in recent years. They're thinking, if we can't beat this hobbled Braves team, when are we ever going to do it? And again, they're not some world beater team. They have their own issues and everything like that. But if you're looking at the Braves and you're looking at the Mets, they should probably beat us with this pathetic AAA lineup basically every other night. And it would just be so Atlanta Braves of us to go in and be like, LOL, you little brothers, you still couldn't beat us at our lowest. This will be the lowest point. It is going to be different next year. And this amount of injuries cannot happen again. There's no way. But I'm just saying, you can't beat us now. You're never going to do it.
Yeah, I mean,
you better do it now.
There's definitely optimistic Mets fans that are in my mentions that will talk about how this is the worst they're going to be. And I'm like, yeah, that is probably true. And I do think you got some prospects and you got some young guys that are going to develop into maybe potential stars or potential all-stars or potential really good players. But at the end of the day, like you said, this is going to be the worst the Atlanta Braves ever by 20 games. 20 games probably in the next 3 or 4 or 5 year stretch. So, yeah, if you can't do it now, when are you going to do it? I think the Braves got to just relish the opportunity. They got a good opportunity against the Reds to maybe win 2 out of 3 there. Then they get the Marlins, a team that they've dominated over the last 5 years. Now, listen, the Braves have sucked against crappy teams. I mean, they've lost season series to the Chicago White Sox. Yeah. We're probably the only team in all of Major League Baseball that has a series loss to the Chicago or a season series loss to the Chicago White Sox. So nothing can be taken for granted.
Don't count
especially with this lineup, because you never know when they're just going to go out there and lay a 0 or a 1 or a 2 on the scoreboard. Actually, you do know that's 3 out of every 4 nights. But listen, you got an opportunity here. Like keep your head above water. Take care of business against the Reds. Take care of business against the Marlins. I'm not saying you got to sweep them. Win 2 out of 3. Keep yourself in this race and have that opportunity against the New York Mets to start next week to earn your way into the postseason.
These guys aren't dumb.
Go ahead. Chris Sale is unbelievably dominant. Unbelievably dominant. MVP. I mean, you're talking about a sub-2 ERA for basically 4 months of the season. Yeah. Easily going to win the NL Cy Young Award. One of the best acquisitions Alex Anthopoulos has always made. I hyped him out a ton. He's exceeded anybody's expectations you could have possibly had for Chris Sale. Has maintained health. One of the few guys of all the people to maintain health on this team. it's Chris
The
Sale,
most injury-prone
the
guy
most
of the last
injury-prone
4
guy.
years.
Hasn't had a healthy season in 5 years, but watching him pitch
It's awesome.
has been just a spectacle. It's so nice to know that we're going to have another year of this and hopefully another 2 years and maybe even longer than that if he keeps still wanting to pitch and is pitching at a high level. Unbelievable acquisition. Every time he steps on the mound, I'm like, yeah, we're going to win this game. Doesn't matter who's on the mound. And that's why we're watching this Dodgers-Braves series, and you're like, why do you have any confidence in a Braves postseason run? Because look what you're able to do every time against even a loaded Dodgers lineup. You go Spencer Schwellenbach, Chris Sale. We haven't even thrown Max Fried, but it's just like every night you can hold them to 2 runs or less. If you do that, it doesn't matter who's in your lineup. You got a chance to win.
Yeah, and I wanted to just finish by saying the Braves can take solace. Look around the locker room. These guys are not dumb. They realize they've got a makeshift misfit team going on right now, especially the lineup, that you could take solace. They're like, we're still here. We're still alive. The resilience of this club, they just took 2 out of 3 against the Dodgers. We'll see how the series shapes up today. The Dodgers are obviously one of the favorites to win the World Series. When you do that, you look around, it's kind of like a rallying call where it's like, nobody expects us to win. We're playing with house money. Everyone is hurt. So let's just go out, play free. It doesn't matter. If we lose, we lose. We weren't expected to make the postseason with this, amount of injuries. So let's just go play free. I think you could take solace in that and kind of use it.
Yeah. And as I always say, man, like playing these 2 months of baseball where every game feels like a playoff game is only beneficial. And then you don't have the bye week. So you're going to go right into a wild card series. You're not going to lose any of this momentum. It's going to be baseball. Every game's do or die. And that does something to a team. And there's a reason why wild card teams that play like this always end up finding their way to the World Series, because they've been doing this while other teams have been coasting in, like the Dodgers. So, hey, get in the dance. Anything can happen. They've shown it this series. Hopefully they can take care of business this week.